You know what is sexy? A guy who saves for his retirement. He's good to his parents. He feeds me cookies from time to time. He helps me do chores around the house. That is sexy. But that being said, these type of men are also looking for women who have their shits together. Am I right? Just kidding. Honestly, I save money because I just want to be a strong, independent biatch so that I can live my life the way that I want to be honest, and to be like completely frank. I am not a financial advisor or a financial guru. This is just the way that I have kind of designed my life into a way where I can do the things that I want to do. I have options and I have savings in the bank. Money is a very powerful thing. Honestly, just think that it's a tool for life that we can decide to use it for elevating our own lives or, perpetually making ourselves miserable. I've seen money really control people due to like debt or gambling or just buying really nice things that they can't afford, and they're just continuously always just shoveling themselves out of debt. I've seen money really change things for people, including myself actually, because I used to never invest or save, and now with savings I feel more confident. I can do things that I really want to do, all at a sustainable type of way. I just want to talk about like money because I feel like a lot of people ask me how I can live the life that I want, and honestly I think it's because of the way that I approach money. So I see money as a necessary means of evil, but I also see it as like a tool. I just want to quickly go over about how I invest my money while I'm here in Singapore, because all of my accounts are back in the US. I save, I invest. The only thing I have opened here right now in Singapore is a bank account. I just have a debit card. That's really it. So one thing that I actually learned recently is that like Americans overseas are not able to like buy and trade anything with like mutual funds, and that actually gets your account locked, which happened to me. So I want to talk about how I save at least 40% of my salary each month. I want to preface this that sometimes it does fluctuate, solely because there have been a lot of like big life things or big life items that have happened in my life that I need cash to be liquid, or I need to help out with something. So generally I try to save 40% of my income, and I do currently still actively invest on the side. So it really comes down to like two things, and it's quite easy. Like the first one is just really like automation. Like when you automate your money, it's something that you don't think about. It's something that you don't have to worry about. You just know like your money will be like moved or transferred elsewhere. So I think automation was quite helpful for me, because I currently live in Singapore. I do have a DBS bank account, which I'm very, very like shocked by how great their banking system is. Like kudos to DBS for doing a really great job. And if you want to sponsor this video, feel free to. Just kidding. So I have DBS, and what I do is generally just like I will move my money to my US bank accounts, and from my bank account I will go and invest that money that I'm saving. So like my money is actively being placed into different buckets. So it's being saved into like a high yield savings account. It's being placed in my investments accounts. And I do this because I want to make it hard for myself to not touch those monies. Like I do have money in my Singapore bank account that I access, that I use for rent, for food, I use to like buy things, but primarily like all of my savings are growing and they're actively like being invested back at home. I do invest myself. I don't really have someone who's like managing it for me. It's really just based on like my own due diligence and my research, and just putting it into like a high yield savings account. Because I'm an expat and I feel like right now there's a little bit of like uncertainty in my life, I do have more liquid savings. I just have like more cash saved up just to really like help myself if anything happens. Not to say that I can't sell my investments, but I'd rather just have some more like cash on hand in case I need it like ASAP. And the other thing too, so like budgeting, I'm not a numbers person. Like the work that I do, I like to create content. I like to read, I like to write, I like to exercise. I don't like numbers. So when it comes to like budgeting, I feel like I'm so simple. Like budgeting, it's really just like, okay, I allocate a certain amount of savings that go to like these accounts, and then everything else is like, okay, it goes to rent, and then I have like fun money. And fun money is like, I can go to like happy hour, I can go to brunch, I can go buy food, I can buy like, you know, a new dress or like a haircut, which I got a haircut, so yeah, that's why my hair is a little bit shorter. But yeah, I mean, that's how I manage my money systems. And I don't think that there's a right or wrong way to do it. I think it's just like the way that you do what is best for you and at this given time and moment. My savings rate has fluctuated. So like in college, I was working like 2 jobs and doing school full time, and I was just like trying to hustle and like save. And then I did internships every summer, some that were actually unpaid, right? Like it's so crazy to think that I worked for free for like 3 months without getting paid, and I still had to like pay for transportation and do all these things as an intern. But it was really great life experience, and it was just a good learning experience in general. But like honestly, if I were to ever own a business or do a startup or something, like I would make sure my interns are paid. And then when I started working, like actually started working, that's when I had to learn about like all these like retirement funds and like company matching. When I was younger, I realized the importance of compound growth, and I went through a breakup and I realized like shit, like I need to be a bad bitch, you know, like I just gotta save and I can't depend on no one else. And that's where like this like independency came from. I remember I was like, you know what, like I'm just gonna depend on myself. Like my money is like the way that I'm going to live the life that I want. And I just started contributing like 20% of my income to like my retirements. I was like really like aggressively saving at that time. So it was like 20% to my investments. I was putting like 10% to like my savings. And yeah, it just really changed like the ball game for me. And I did all of this when I was like 22 or 23. Now I just have money kind of like growing on its own because I had saved. I do want to preface that again, like everyone has different timelines. So like if you're not saving when you're young and you just started, like that's fine, right? Like people can save. Like the fact that you're even doing it, the fact that you're like even moving forward, that's what I would really applaud yourself on. I think really money is just a tool to do what you want. And there's like this quote online, which is, for the average person, which is like me, okay, like I am an average person, you can have anything, but you can't have everything. I don't really know who my viewers are, but I will say that like you can have those nice bags, you can do that luxury retreat, but you can't do all of it, right? Like if you do all of it, then you might just end up in a lot of debt. But I mean, for me, like I know what I like. I like traveling, and I like spending money on like books, an occasional massage, and like, you know, oh my god, my hair, a nice haircut. I'm willing to like spend money for those things. What I'm not willing to spend money on is like, you know, like $10,000 bags. So in your life, you can have the things that you want, but obviously you need to be able to like balance it. I also want to preface this that like I'm not rich, okay? Like I'm not some like trust fund baby. I'm just someone who really saved when she was younger, and she still understands the importance of, you know, making your own money and saving up and being independent, because I realized that like because of money, I've had options. Like I had the option, like if I want to quit my job, I can quit my job and be like, bye. And I don't need to worry about it because I have bank. Okay, maybe not like bank, but like I have savings. The other thing too is like if something happens to my parents, like God forbid, I, you know, have the monetary funds to help them if they need it. If, you know, tomorrow my friend is like chased by a loan shark or something like that, like I can help him like pay for it, right? So money, when used correctly, it can be just very helpful and used as a tool. So I think that's like where all this is coming from, because recently I've been seeing like people that I know personally who have not been using money in the best way. And so like I really caution those who are younger or just like my age, or, you know, if you're kind of just like ready for retirement, like do think about money carefully. Like I think it's all part of like life planning. Not to say that you need to be obsessed with it, but you do need, you know, I mean, we live in a very capitalist world. Like you should think about ways that you are preparing for your future while you're here now. There are a lot of opportunity costs that come into your life, and you have to make that decision if it's like worth it or not, right? Like does just doing an MBA, like, is that something that you really want to do? Do you really want to pay $100,000 per year? If you want to be an executive or you want to become an entrepreneur, like maybe an MBA is good for you. But if you're just doing an MBA because you have nothing else to do and your parents are pushing you to do it, that's not what you should be doing. For me, I took a job here and it is lower paying because of the adjustment of like cost of living, as you know, in comparison to like Singapore and San Francisco. But I mean, yeah, I worry a lot sometimes that I'm behind with my peers back in the Bay Area. Like, they really have their shits together and I feel like I'm still trying to figure out my life. But then I realize, I'm like, my opportunity, it only comes in a lifetime. I get to work and live and stay here in Singapore. I get to build a community, I get to make new friends, I get to explore like the Southeast Asia tech ecosystem. And that is an opportunity that like you cannot buy, right? Like, people cannot buy and it doesn't come around easily. So yeah, like I'm okay with that opportunity cost because I feel like the self-investment is so high that I'm okay just figuring things out here. But I'm trying to be financially savvy and still saving what I can. I also just want to talk about the FIRE community. I think a lot of people know what this is, but FIRE community, it is financial independence, retire early. It is this movement that people have been getting into, which is, it includes you saving a lot of money to a certain degree and then living off those savings based on like a reoccurring interest that you'll get from your savings. I think the general advice was just that, like, when you're young, you try and save like crazy. You try and save until you get to like 100,000, which is always like the hardest part to reach, right? $100,000 is like the hardest part to reach. And then once you get over that, like that hump, then your savings kind of just like continue to like speed up and escalate. But that's what I've heard, like the 100,000s is always like the hardest to reach, but it's doable. Like, I've seen peers do it, and I'm also in the process of like getting there myself. So I hope this was helpful. I feel like I've just like rambled on about like money and like my life lessons, but I really do urge people, especially like the younger ones, to take power into their own lives and like do start thinking about your financial planning. I think when I was a student, I had a lot of debt. I think I was like roughly like 10K or 15K in debt, and that's fine, right? But like, I also was working during school because I knew that I needed to pay off that debt somehow. So really just think about, you know, money holistically and use it in a way that benefits you. Don't let it control you. And I hope you found this video useful, at least like a little bit. Let me know what your thoughts are too. Like, I'm very curious to know like how people in Singapore or overseas just kind of manages their money, what their like thoughts on money are, and if I can help with any questions, or you know, if you just want to say hi, like please say hi. If you like this video, please subscribe and give a like button, or like the like button smash the like button. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great day and see you guys soon.